You think you know Moby Dick, right? Big whale, angry captain, the whole wooden leg thing. But what if I told you that's just the cover story? Tonight, we're not just reading a book. No, we're opening a cold case file on one of the most obsessive, manipulative, and flat-out destructive minds in history.
Yeah, because this was never a story about hunting a whale. It's a psychological breakdown of a man who convinced his entire crew to join him on a suicide mission. And we have all the evidence. So let's start with the first person of interest, or whale of interest.
Every great manhunt needs a legendary fugitive, right? And in this story, the target wasn't just some animal. He was a monster, a legend. Meet the ocean's most wanted, Moby Dick.
Now this isn't a description from a nature book. It's a rap sheet. Moby Dick had distinct markings, a wrinkled brow, a crooked jaw. He was known for this almost supernatural cunning, always outsmarting the best hunters. And his M.O.? Wrecking boats and dismembering anyone who got too close. He didn't just take ships, he took limbs, he took lives. This was the target.
But here's the thing. This investigation, it isn't really about the whale. It's about the man hunting him. Before he even steps on deck, Captain Ahab is basically a ghost, a rumor whispered among the crew. He's the mastermind, pulling all the strings from the shadows.
The people who hired him talked about him with this insane contradiction. A grand, ungodly, godlike man. I mean, what is that? They knew he wasn't normal. They knew he was this larger-than-life figure, but that there was a real darkness there. It's like he was both more than human and at the same time less.
And here's where the psych profile starts coming together. The same guy says that ever since losing his leg to the white whale, Ahab has been, quote, desperate, moody, and savage sometimes. So this isn't just a physical injury we're talking about. It's a deep, deep psychological wound. The trauma is just festering.
And this is what that rage looks like. When Ahab finally shows his face, he looks like a man who was literally cut away from a burning stake. You get that picture? The damage isn't just on the surface. It is burned into his very soul. This is a man who has already been to hell, and believe me, he is more than willing to drag everyone else back down with him.
So, here's the turning point. This ship, the Pequod, it was supposed to be a business trip, a standard whaling voyage to make some money. But that all changes in one single terrifying scene on the quarterdeck. This is the moment a legitimate commercial enterprise becomes a death cult.
So how does he do it? Well, it starts with a bribe. Ahab takes a Spanish gold doubloon, a coin worth a small fortune, and he nails it right to the ship's main mast. He announces it's a prize for the first man to spot the white whale. But you see, it's not just a reward. It's bait. It's the hook. Honestly, this is a masterclass in manipulation, like a cult leader's playbook 101. First, the bribe. Get their greed working for him. Then, the oath, a public vow that makes it almost impossible to back down. Then, he seals the deal with this bizarre ritual, serving them all liquor from the metal sockets of their harpoons, like some kind of dark communion. And finally, he gives them their new mission. Not profit, not duty, just one single all-consuming goal, death to Moby Dick.
But why? You gotta ask, why would an entire crew of seasoned sailors agree to this? Why risk everything, the ship, their lives, for one single whale? Well, because for Ahab, this was never, ever about killing an animal. He was hunting something much, much bigger.
Okay, so here's the core conflict. For the crew, this mission is simple. It's a payday. Yeah, it's a dangerous job, but the goal is to get that whale oil and go home rich. Simple. But for Ahab, oh no. He's on a completely different mission. This is a cosmic reckoning. He doesn't think he's hunting a whale. He believes he's hunting the physical embodiment of all evil in the entire universe.
And here it is, his confession, in his own words.
He sees Moby Dick as the living symbol of all his pain, all his rage, all the unfairness of the world. He says the whale is like a wall, and he just has to smash through it. The guy is literally trying to stab the concept of evil. I mean, that's the definition of madness. So what happens when one man's all-consuming obsession is just unleashed on the open ocean? Absolute devastation. The final confrontation isn't a hunt, it's a 3-day massacre. The final chase is just this brutal downward spiral. On day 1, the whale turns on them, destroys Ahab's personal boat. Okay, clear warning, right? On day 2, Moby Dick wrecks all 3 of the remaining chase boats and snaps Ahab's famous ivory leg.
Any sane captain would quit, but Ahab, he doubles down. So on day 3, he lands one final harpoon, but the line whips around his own neck and he's dragged into the abyss. Then the whale turns, rams the Pequod, and sinks the entire ship.
The cost of this personal vendetta is total. The ship is gone, the crew is gone, Ahab is gone. Everybody dies, except for one single survivor who's left to tell the tale. One man's rage just wiped an entire world right off the map. So, the case is closed. Ahab hunted his monster, and in the end, he became one himself. Which leaves us with one final question. In a war of vengeance, when you sacrifice your crew, your ship, and your own soul just to get even, did you really win it all?